everybody. I'm CM Dixon. This is my baby Jada.
Hey everybody, it's Jada, Jaida, and today we're going to be reviewing a TV show that we recently watched called XOKitty. There will be spoilers in the TV show, so y'all need to watch another review if y'all want one without spoilers. So yeah, let's get into the video.
Alright. The main character, her name is Kitty. She was previously on this movie that is called To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
All three of them.
Yes, on all three of them. That movie was mainly on her big sister, Lara Jean. But this one, XOKitty, is about her. She is at the school called KISS. I don't know exactly how old she was supposed to be when her mom passed. But the main reason why she wanted to go to the school is, number one, because of her mother. Number two, because there was this guy that she was dating that she met in Seoul, Korea, named Dae. And that is another reason why she ended up going.
Yeah.
But anyway, for the second season, the very first episode, this is the second semester. She goes back there for winter break.
Goes there for winter break, and she gets out of the taxi and stuff, and then she meets up with her, I would say her best friend. His name's Q. And then, they're talking and everything, and then they see Mino and Dae, and Mino's just like, he walks off with Dae, and then Dae's like, oh my gosh, why didn't we speak to her?
Oh, and Mino, he was her roommate in the previous first season.
Yeah,
she was living in the boys' dorm. Yeah, she was living with Dae, Q, and Mino.
It was a mistake though.
Mino couldn't stand Kitty when he first met her. She and him were always bumping heads, not getting along. And then, towards the end, later, when it was towards the end of the film, when they were leaving to go to Christmas break, he realized that he was in love with her. And the reason why he was avoiding her is because the very last episode, when they were on the plane, he told her that he was in love with her, and she didn't say anything back. So, she didn't return his feelings. So that's the reason why he was trying to avoid her on the very first episode.
Yeah.
After they walked off, she went to her dorms, and she saw
Yuri and Yuri's girlfriend Juliana.
Yes, on the very first one, Yuri was involved with Dae. Yuri was gay. She was a lesbian, and her parents were not okay with it, so they decided to have her do a fake relationship with Dae. Because of that, because of the family name, they were afraid it was going to be tarnished, destroyed, ruined, all that crap. So she decided to do what her parents said and do a fake relationship. But anyways, she was in love with this girl named Juliana. She went to school. Yeah, Yuri. She was involved with this girl named Juliana, and her mom on the very first one, she sent Juliana away. She didn't want her at that school anymore around her daughter. But at the end of the movie, she allowed for the last of the end of the show for the first season, she was able to come back to KISS. That's the name of the school that she was in, that they were at. Anyways, she found out this new season. Kitty found out that she was roommates with Yuri and Juliana.
But it was weird because Kitty had asked for a single
bedroom. Yeah, she didn't want to have roommates
because last season was
it was crazy. She almost got kicked out of school because she was sleeping in the boys' dorm. So Yuri was able to convince her mother to allow her to come back to school.
Yeah.
But she wanted a single room. She didn't want to have any roommates. But they ended up putting her in a room with roommates because there was a cheating scandal from last semester. The guy, Q, was involved with this guy named Florian. He was cheating on tests, and he ended up getting a really good GPA, but because he cheated, he was paying people or whatever to, I guess, do his schoolwork for him or something like that. So he ended up cheating. And because Q told on Florian, a lot of other students somehow ended up getting kicked out of school because of that. I don't understand what that had to do with them, but Florian got kicked out of school as well as some other students. But anyways, because of that, Kitty was not able to get a room of her own, single like she wanted. So she ended up having to share a room with the
Juliana,
girls and Yuri.
And then there's this girl that came up. Her name was
Stella. She was new. She just started. She said that she was a transfer. That she was on this. It was like a church thing that they were able to help her go to that school. Ohio.
Picklepood.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but someplace in Ohio. That's what she said she was from. Anyways, she had talked to Professor Lee and talked to him about if she would be able to switch rooms or just switch roommates or whatever. So he said he was going to see what he could do. Well, she went, so after she met up with him, she went back to her room. She met with the girls and everything. She was trying to avoid Yuri. Yuri said that she was planning like a barbecue or whatever for all of her friends to hang out around like 7 o'clock that night. The girl, Stella, she said she hadn't been able to get registered. Kitty volunteered to show her around campus and take her to where registration was and everything. So she showed her around campus and everything, and they all decided they were going to meet up at the assembly. When they went to the auditorium or wherever it is for the assembly, there was Kitty was trying to avoid Yuri and Juliana. So she sat with this girl and she lied and claimed that she was her friend. The girl's name was Pravina.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she sat by Pravina and she was like, "Oh, this is my friend." Da-da-da.
But they didn't know each other.
Yeah, they didn't know each other. First time meeting each other.
Yes.
And Pravina was trying to get to know her and like ask questions as to why she was pretending she knew her and stuff. So they had went on a date, or yeah, she had asked her on a date or something like that. It's like this gay bar type of thing.
Yeah.
And Kitty went. On the way there, she had ran into Juliana and
Yuri.
Yeah, and Juliana and Yuri. She talked to Yuri, and she got mad at Yuri basically because she wanted Yuri to find. She wanted Yuri's mom to figure out little stuff about her mom. If that makes sense, you can say it.
There was this guy that her mom, she thought that her mom had went to Korea for. The guy's name was Simon, but it ended up turning out that Simon wasn't a boyfriend or whatever. She was her mother's cousin that she didn't know about because their grandmothers weren't speaking. Kitty's grandmother wasn't speaking to her sister, which was Simon's. She was Simon's mom. But they didn't know about each other. But that, I think, was one of the main reasons why her mom wanted to go to KISS or Korea or whatever, because she knew she had family there, but she didn't know them.
Yeah.
She knew she had family there, but she didn't know them. But that was the reason why she wanted to go to Korea. But when she asked Yuri about it, Yuri lied to her, saying that her mom was like at some retreat.
She was like, she's off the map or something.
Off the grid. That's what she called it. Off the grid. And she said she was at some rejuvenating health spa type thing.
Yeah.
Kitty was calling around trying to find out where the lady, her name was Gina, I don't remember what her last name is, but she used to be the principal at the school at KISS.
Yeah.
And she was trying to get in touch with her, calling around, and she was able to finally get in touch with her and spoke to her and asked her the question about the guy Simon and everything. And what's her name? Yuri's mother told Kitty about who Simon was and everything, and she basically confronted Kitty. She confronted her about it, and Yuri said the reason she hadn't spoken, that she had lied, because she said that when she came out to her mom, telling her mother that she was gay, her mom was acting like it was she was like ashamed of it and was like
she wanted to keep it from everybody.
From everybody. She didn't want her to tell any of her family, nobody. So because Yuri was not okay with that, she decided to quit talking to her mother, and instead of her telling Kitty the truth, she just lied to her and told her that her mom was off the grid and doing some rejuvenating spa thing when she really wasn't.
So then, after that whole thing, Kitty went inside the bar. It was like a gay bar or something.
Yes.
Just for gay people. And she had went in there and she had met up with Pravina. And then Kitty kept staring at Yuri and Juliana.
When she was dancing with Pravina.
Yeah, and Pravina was like, "Oh, this is why you sat by me because because you're in love with Yuri." And then Kitty was like, "No, it was a while back. We're just friends now."
She said she's trying to get over her.
So then Pravina was like, "Okay, I don't think this is the right time to be on a date. I'm just gonna go." So then she left. She ditched Kitty, and then Kitty was walking around. Then she met up with her ex-boyfriend.
She saw her best friend Day, her ex-boyfriend Day. Remember?
Oh yeah,
her ex-boyfriend Day was at the gay club with Q, because Q and Day were like best friends. But he, of course, was not okay with being at a gay club because Day is not gay. But he was talking to some women that, were supposedly straight.
They were like pansexual.
I guess it was three. It was three women that he was talking to and everything. Q ended up running into this guy that was on the track team. I think his name was Jin. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce the guy's name. Guy was a jerk. But when he saw him, he was like, "What are you doing here? It's like you have been talking bad about me for 2 years because I'm gay, and it turns out that you're gay."
And then what's his name?
Jin. I think that's
Jin
what
was
they
like,
said his name
"Oh,
was.
come dance with me." So they started dancing. So then he was like, "Oh, come dance with me." Then they started dancing and stuff. And Kitty had pulled Q out of his little dance session to talk. And she was trying to talk to him, and he was like, he wanted to go back and dance with him and everything.
And she can tell that she was bothering him. So she
was like, "You can go back."
Yeah, she told him to go have fun, and she would talk to him later. But what she wanted to talk to him about was Yuri, because she was so worried about Yuri, because Yuri's mom wasn't talking to her because of the situation with her being a lesbian. Yeah. So she was worried about her. And that's what she wanted to talk to Q about. But Q, of course, was trying to hang out with Jin or Din, whatever the guy's name is. And she left him alone, and she went and found Juliana and asked her where was she at. And she said that Yuri was in the bathroom. She had mentioned to Juliana that she figured that she was upset about her mom, about the situation, and Juliana was basically telling her, like, if you're her friend, then you need to basically
stay out of her business.
Yeah, stay out of her business. That's what she wanted. That's what Juliana wanted Kitty to do. But Kitty looks like she didn't know how to do that, because she was always in somebody's business.
So then Kitty was like, Kitty had said something that was like, "Oh, Yuri should talk to her mom, and then maybe her mom would own up to the fact that..." It was something weird like that. Mm-hmm. And then Juliana said it to Yuri, but like kind of
made it seem like it was her idea, not Kitty's.
And terrible.
Oh, and another thing I forgot. The barbecue. They did the barbecue thing the night that they all came back. They thought that Minho was mad at him because on the last season, they thought that Minho was in love with Kitty, and he slammed Minho, which he was his best friend, against the wall, accusing him of being in love with his girl, because they and Kitty were together. Finally, he broke it off with with Yuri at the time, and got back involved with Kitty.
Yeah,
but he saw the way that Minho was interacting with Kitty, and he just assumed that he was in love with her, and that was not the reason as to why Minho was avoiding him. So he asked, Day asked Kitty if she can talk to Minho for him to find out if he was mad. And they talked, and he basically was saying that Kitty was basically saying that she apologized. She didn't mean to hurt his feelings when he told her on the plane that he was in love with her. And he was trying to play it off like it was no big deal, making it seem like it was just a crush, that it was a silly little...
it was a little crush.
Yeah, a silly little crush. That's what he was saying, even though you could tell clearly he was lying. That he was still, feeling her. But he wasn't trying to say anything about it because she hurt his feelings. They ended up going into the barbecue place so that they can talk and everything, and Yuri pulled Kitty to the side and asked her, like, why have you been avoiding me since we've been back?
Yeah.
During break, she didn't contact Yuri, and she basically told her that she realized before they left for break that, Kitty told Yuri that she had realized that when they came back before they left, she said that she realized that she was bi, and she had told Yuri that she feels like it was like, I guess, a thank you for her. I guess her hanging out with Yuri, she realized that she was into both men and women. So she basically was like telling, her thank you for that. Since Yuri and Yuri and Juliana were a couple, they had this rule that people who were, I guess, in a relationship together, they couldn't live together. So they lied and made it seem like they were not together. Yeah. So whenever an RA came by or whatever, them two were supposed to be like separate from one another. And Kitty was like the guard or whatever. Whenever she, I guess, would see when there was curfew and the RA or whomever would come to check, she would warn Yuri and Juliana that
They're
it was
coming.
that it was almost time. So they would be like, "Thank you, Kitty." So it was kind of like, I guess you could say, killing Kitty to do that because she was still interested in being with Yuri, even though she started wanting to develop, I guess you could say, a relationship or whatever with this chick, Pavina. Go on.
The next day, it was like not a track meet, but like a race for Q and then the gay guy he was dancing with. Yes. Q had woke up and he had got a note and he was like, sore loser. Wait, what is it?
I really don't remember what the note said.
Like that.
Yeah, Jen had wrote a note and turned Q's phone off. So he wasn't able. He was late for the race.
Yeah, he was late. And
when he finally turned his phone on, he had all these messages from his friends telling him, "Where are you?
Yeah.
You were not in the room because they had a curfew and all that stuff." And of course, he wasn't there because he had stayed the night at the other guy's place.
So then Kitty was trying to basically distract everybody by like pretending she passed out on the track thing on the track.
And Minho went out there, asking if she was okay, and she told him, I'm trying to create a distraction, you idiot," because she was trying to have it where they didn't start the race without Q. When they finally saw Q, she got up and went and sat down. They had the race. Q lost. The other guy, Jen or Zen, however the heck his name was, he won. But yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about another thing. Minho. They have this. His father is a part of the show. He gave money to the school for an art program. Honey, if you were to see this guy, he looked like a burnt piece of toast.
Living that out.
Look at his face. That is what this guy looked like. He is a jerk towards...
His name's Mr. Moon.
Yes, he is a jerk towards his son. He claims that Minho is his favorite son, but I clearly don't believe he is. He has another song. I don't remember what his other son's name is, but he has a song called Favorite Son that is about his other son, not Minho. They have the roommate, Stella. She ended up wanting to date Minho, so she mentioned it to Kitty, and Kitty gave Stella the number for Minho. Yeah.
We're not bringing that part of it.
Yeah. She stood up for Minho because his dad was being a jerk to him and everything, and his dad ended up being his teacher. Being their teacher also, and they had this. Go ahead.
He was not teaching a class. He was doing auditions for his show. Yes. So he was making them audition for his show.
Yes, and like they were like judges deciding who was good and who wasn't, and they could turn out he could sing. So he was on stage and he was singing, and they had like pieces of paper and pens pens, and they were like, I guess, scoring who did good and who did bad or whatever. There was this chick on there. I don't remember what her name was. She did awful. So they were talking about her doing, I guess, like some voice lessons or some crap like that, even though clearly that ain't gonna work because either you know how to sing or you don't. Anyways, she, Mr. Moon, the reason why he was going off on Minho is because he thought that his son told the girl that couldn't sing, I guess, that she sound bad. And he was going off on him, talking about that he's not a manager, that he will never be a manager and all that crap.
Never make it in the business.
Right, in the music business, because that's what he does. He's like a music manager or some crap like that. So Stella, she went to Mr. Moon and was telling him that, like, how dare you talk to Minho like that? Like, he is a good son. He would be an excellent manager and all that. And he was basically like, oh, now you can speak up. So he walked off, angry, and Stella was trying to explain herself to Minho, talking about she apologized. She said she just doesn't like when someone is being rude. Yes, being rude and disrespectful. She said that when something like that happens, it makes her explode. It makes her snap. So she's about to walk off. Minho, of course, grabbed her and told her that he appreciated her speaking up for him and everything, and kissed her, and they had the swoony romantic crap music, and he kissed her. After the race, after Q lost, him and Kitty, they were sitting on the grass talking, and Kitty Q was basically saying that he was going to swear off dating men because the guy, because of the guy that was on the track team, was being a jerk. Guy he picked on Day, and he stole his lunch money. That's what Day said. He said that the guy stole his lunch money, and he stole Minho's hair product. So that's the reason why they did not like this guy Jin or Zen, because he was a jerk to them. Because like I said, they grew up with him or whatever in Korea, because that's where they grew up and everything. But that's why they didn't like him. But anyways, they him and Kitty were talking, and Kitty was accidentally had mentioned that she has to see Yuri and Juliana making out all the time. And Mr. Lee, he is the principal, he happened to overhear what Kitty said, and he was basically like, "Miss Covey, what did you just say?" And she was lying.
She was like, I have to see them putting on makeup.
Yeah. So he mentioned, Mr. Lee turned to the girls and he said, "Yuri and Juliana, I was just informed by Miss Covey that you two are living together.
Your honeymoon is over."
Yes, and he said that one of you has to move out. And of course, the girls were pissed. You could tell by the look on their face.
So that was the ending of the first and second episode. And now we're going to do the ratings, and will we watch it again? 3, 2, 1, go. I put a 9. So, yeah, because the show's really good.
Yes, you will love it.
If you're into it.
Yeah, if you are.
Okay, and now for the review. Are we going to watch it again? 3, 2, 1, go. Just go. Wait, what'd you put? Okay, yeah. Very, very true.
Yes, it is a good show. It's on Netflix. If anyone is interested in it, yes, you will love it if you
like that type of stuff. The main character, Anna Cathcart, she's also in a show called Odd Squad. She was also in Odd Squad.
She was also on one of the Descendants movies. She played Dizzy. She was one of the stepsisters' granddaughters, I believe. One of Cinderella's stepsisters, Drusilla.
You just said the granddaughter of
the stepsister.
No, she's the grandchild of the stepmom.
Whatever. Oh, okay, but she's a daughter of Drusilla.
Yeah.
Of Drusilla, of Cinderella's stepsister.
Forgot about that.
Yes.
I love her character. She was so fun.
Yes.
All right, y'all. That's all we have for this video. Share this video with your
friends,
family. Follow my Instagram at Charms by Jade, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Jada. And you.
You can follow me on Chantel Monique Wright. That's my Instagram. My TikTok is Chantel Monique Wright. And for my YouTube is Chantel Monique Reviews. I changed it.
Again.
Yes. Get your ass kicked on camera. Back off, Mortimer.
And that's all what we have for tonight.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.